Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to the Lansing School District Board of Education regular board meeting today, October 30th, 2025. At this time, could I have everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Thank you. Can I have one of our, we need the flag. Bring the flag over. All righty. Can I have one of our board members read our land acknowledgement and our mission statement?
You want me to read them both at the same time?
It doesn't matter. That's fine.
I can do it.
Thank you.
Excuse me, sorry. Our mission statement is to provide a high-quality education in a culturally safe and nurturing environment that supports all students to live purposefully and fulfilling lives. Our land acknowledgement is we collectively acknowledge that the Lansing School District occupies the ancestral, traditional, and contemporary lands of the Anishinaabe, the three fire confederacies of Ojibwe, Ottawa, and Potawatomi people.
Thank you so much, Trustee Williams. Could the clerk please call the roll?
Dr. Kavanagh.
Present.
Mr. Hurd. Mr. Lopez. Mrs. Moore.
Present.
Dr. Navarez Martinez.
Present.
Mr. Nabisky.
Present.
Dr. Rodriguez. Mrs. Strode.
Present.
Ms. Williams. Quorum is present.
Thank you so very much for that. Item number 3, we will be going into closed session. May I have a motion, please?
Madam President?
Yes.
I recommend that the Board of Education go into closed session under the Open Meetings Act, Section 188H, to consider material exempt from disclosure by state or federal statute, specifically attorney-client and privilege letters.
May I have a second? Second. It was moved by Trustee Williams, second by Trustee Strode. May I have a roll call vote?
Dr. Kavanagh.
Yes.
Mr. Hurd.
Yes.
Mr. Lopez. Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Dr. Navarez Martinez.
Yes.
Mr. Nabisky.
Yes.
Dr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mrs. Strode.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Motion passes 9-0. We will now enter into closed session at 6:02. At this time, we have an action item on the floor, number 4.
Madam President,
Yes.
I move that the Board of Education accept the 31AA Resolution A as presented.
Second.
Alrighty, it's been moved by Trustee Kavanaugh and second by Trustee Williams. Seem to be very excited about that. So Trustee Williams, is there any discussion on the floor at this time? Seeing none, could the clerk please call the roll?
Dr. Kavanagh.
Yes.
Mr. Hurd.
Yes.
Mr. Lopez. Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Dr. Navarez Martinez.
Yes.
Mr. Nabisky.
Yes.
Dr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mrs. Strode.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Wonderful. Motion passes 9-0 that the Board of Education accepts the 31AA resolution as presented. Thank you very much, Board of Trustees. At this time, we are moving on to we are moving on to item number 5, and that's another closed session. May I please have a motion?
Madam President,
Yes.
I recommend that the Board of Education go into closed session to consider the dismissal, suspension, or discipline of a student at the student's parent request, Section 8(1)(b).
All right. It's been moved by Trustee Strode. May I have a second?
Second.
It was second by Trustee Navarez Martinez. May I please have a roll call vote?
Dr. Kavanagh.
Yes.
Mr. Hurd.
Yes.
Mr. Lopez. Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Dr. Navarez Martinez.
Yes.
Mr. Nabisky.
Yes.
Dr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mrs. Strode.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Wonderful. Motion passes 9-0. We will be going into closed session at 6:57. All righty. We are back from our 5-minute, half-an-hour recess. Let us move on to item number 6, public comment on agenda items. Seeing none, let us move on to our approval of minutes. Are there any corrections to our last minutes from our meetings from anybody, from our October 2nd meeting and our October 16th meeting? Wonderful. And seeing none, moving on to item number 8, our presentations. We have an anti-gun violence presentation with our trustee Hurd, superintendent, Ms. Black and Ms. Sledge. Did I say your name right, Christina? Slade?
It's Slate, but
She's gone?
She's really sick. So
Oh, hopefully she feels better. Okay, wonderful. The floor is
Well,
yours.
thank you so much, President Moore. As I think you all know, that safety and security is one of the most important things that a superintendent can do, and a school district can do, and a board can do, which is keep our children and our staff safe. So we've put together this presentation, and if it's okay, I'm going to move over there, and then as we go through different sections, we're going to invite people up to the desk to go through it. But I really do want to say thank you to this board, and specifically thank you to Trustee Hurd for really being a huge advocate of trying to make sure that the district is doing everything it can to make our schools the safest possible. And you've heard me say this before, and I will say it again. Our schools actually are the safest place in Lansing. The things that we have inside our buildings and the staff and the support makes them really quite incredible. And so hopefully through this presentation, we're going to go through a bunch of things that the board and of course the community who might be watching at home, well, certainly can watch this on YouTube later. We really hope see what we're doing and how important this work is. So if you don't mind, I'm going to go over there. Here, all right, okay. Good evening, everyone. So again, we're going to talk about school safety, gun violence prevention, and this new tagline, I really want to make sure you'll see it a lot over the course of the next couple of weeks. Safe homes, safe schools, safe kids. That's about as resonant as I can possibly think about what we're going to talk about and what certainly our desire is. Okay, so the importance of district-wide safety measures. Certainly, we care deeply about ensuring secure learning environments. So that's one of the first things we have to think about. How do we keep schools safe? So that's about a safe school climate enables students and staff to remain focused on learning. I think you all understand this. Clearly, a learning environment to be safe is going to be wonderful. It also, of course, reduces risks and strengthening preparation, which is something that we care about because in the unfortunate event of something happens, our staff and our students need to be prepared. And then, of course, we want to sustain long-term protection. So you can see some of the things that we've done. I'm going to defer to Executive Director Cordelia Black to go through some of these, and then I'll also show kind of from a pedagogical lens why these are so important. So the first thing we're going to talk about is controlled entry and video verification.
Thank you, Superintendent. So, secure video entry systems are essentially one layer of protection. There are multiple layers of protection. We pride ourselves on that, making sure that we reinforce various layers of school safety systems and metrics so that students are safe. But in regards to the secure video systems, it allows for our visitors to buzz in. Essentially, there are people inside of the schools that can see. There's a camera with almost like a doorbell. So they buzz in. They can see who's at the door before just opening the door, blindly opening the door. So it gives them, again, a level of confidence, knowing who's coming into the school. They can have conversations with the person at the door to ensure they are there for legitimate business.
Thank you. So again, for anybody who comes into our schools, you have a secure video, there's verification, again, making our school buildings incredibly safe. We also have secure vestibules in some, not all of our schools, but we are working towards that. Secure vestibules are another layer of protection. So not only do you have a video verification and you get to be buzzed in, but in schools that have secure vestibules, you're buzzed into a room, but that room is still secure. You can't get into the building. If for whatever reason somebody opens up a door and somebody sneaks in or something like that, they're still within this secure vestibule, and then that still is another step so that it actually will create delays for emergency protocol. So if something happens where that person is trying to harm anybody, they're actually held. Sadly, if you remember about one of the school shootings, I think in Nashville, the perpetrator shot through a door and walked in. This would stop that because there's another entryway to secure them. And then in order to get into these buildings, they come in, they're in the secure vestibule, then they have to be buzzed in again into an office, and then they have to be buzzed in again into the main area of the school. So it really creates a series of security measures that allows our schools to be safe. Cordelia, if there's something you want to add to these?
No, I think that you did really well. Of course, the Alice training, well, I'm going to speak a little later on, so I won't go into that right now.
Terrific. So this is North. All of the high schools have secure vestibules, and we have them in a series of our schools. And thanks to our bond and some other monies that we've gotten, we're actually building currently, right now, some more of these vestibules with our hope that all of our schools have a vestibule by next year. The other one, there's many, that we're really proud of is our check-in, our CAS platform, which allows our students to check in every day. For those of you who have students in the school district, they each have IDs. The IDs are scanned in. Some wonderful things about that is their face pops up and there's an adult there. So that way they can verify that the kid is supposed to be there. It's the right kid. What I love is that if it's their birthday, it actually plays happy birthday. But also if they are, let's say, suspended, it would ring, and then it would allow the adult who's verifying, oh, hey, little Johnny, today you're supposed to be somewhere else. It's a really great system that allows all of our children to have their ID and be able to check in, and then the office, of course, can check anything. The other thing that we have with our CAS system is that it actually has a visitor verification on the spot that does a background check. Now, it's not a fingerprint FBI background check, but it is a check on a bunch of databases. All visitors have to come in with a ID. It gets scanned into the system, and then they get a visitor stamp that they can pass through. So we're really proud of this, and you can see at any of our schools we have the system. But Cordelia, if there's anything you want to add, you've worked a lot with CAS, I know.
Sure, and just as a reminder, this platform is the same platform that our SBM module is on. So what I really like about it is that we kind of have one platform for several different modules. Our students, I'll speak on behalf of, well, not really on behalf of our students, but what I've observed. They have gotten used to this system. Like, they walk in, they know their numbers, they remember their numbers, they type their numbers in. They're really excited to get the, the bing and the gling around when it's their birthday. These systems are also utilized at our athletic events, so we know who's coming into our athletic events as well, and other types of events around the district. So they're mobile, portable. We can move them, take them anywhere we need to. So they're in every school, and kids are really used to it. They know one thing for sure: they remember their student IDs, and we also use them for them to come into the lunchrooms and different places throughout the schools, the counseling centers. They can make appointments and such with utilizing this system.
Yeah, and when I first entered the district 5 years ago, I will tell you that certainly at some of our high schools, we had some issues of students from other schools coming in. We had some issues of kids from other districts kind of coming into the building. This CAS system has really stopped that because it's basically impossible. I mean, look, if somebody props open a door or something like that, but it's really allowed us to do a good verification on our children, and it also allows, if parents are asking, we can just go straight in. Your child tapped in at 8:13. You say you dropped them off at 7:02. Well, we need to have a conversation about where they were for but because it has such good data and records, we're able to really use this for real monitoring for our children. Another one, and I apologize for this picture because this is not what our metal detectors look like. They actually look much more like the stadium ones. But we have now had at our high schools the metal detectors for about a year now, and actually a little bit more, right? To almost 2 years. And I cannot tell you the impact this has had on our district. When we first brought these out, some students said, oh, it's going to take so long and we're going to have an issue. Our largest school is Everett. We're able to go through Everett in 2 to 3 minutes. Even if all the kids are on the same CATA bus and they all get in at the same time, these are the same kind of metal detectors that are used at Lions games or, Tigers games. And so they're moving 80,000 people through. We're moving, 1,000 kids through. And what I really appreciate, and I've always been hesitant about the idea of kind of over-policing our children. That's never something that I want. But what's so great about these is that they're run by our own staff, our own people, our principals are there, our assistant principals are there, our own public safety are there, and the kids actually really appreciate, as do the staff, that you know what, in order to get into the building, you've got to be checked. And to be honest, this, good or bad, has become the norm in the country. I can't go to a basketball game. I can't go to a baseball game. I can't even go, to some offices now if I don't go through metal detectors. And I think that normalizing this in a safe, positive, welcoming environment is really, really wonderful. And I certainly urge the board and honestly anybody watching, if you want to see these things in action, we're always happy to share, because what we have found is we have found things. It does ring off and we're able to deal with it, but it also gives this real sense of safety for children, for staff, and for families. And so we've now had it at all of our high schools for about 2 years. We did bring it into Dwight Rich after we had an issue there, and we've been able to continue getting kids in very, very quickly, and it gives a sense of safety and security to our children. And so, we as a board and a superintendent have had conversations about possibly expanding its use. I think that now that we've done it for 2 years, it's a really great opportunity for us to have a conversation about what it would mean to bring this extra level of security to more places in the district. We have seen this be positive. We wanted to pilot it at the high schools, but we've really seen a tremendous usage of it, and it'd be very, very quickly. So I don't know, Cordelia, if there's anything.
No, I mean, I think that these are really good. I've heard kids say how they feel much safer by us having metal detectors in our schools. I know that even our community partners appreciate us having these metal detectors in our schools, and they've even asked if they can borrow them for their events. And so we've had to, loan them out to various entities, and it works hand in hand. It's really nice that I encourage you to check out, the 7 sites that have these. They work hand in hand with the CAS system. So a student comes in, they tap in their ID number, and they walk through the metal detector. It's just a really nice process. So we've kind of gotten it down to, I'm not going to say perfection, but we work on it every single day to make sure that folks are just implementing this process with fidelity. So.
Another big change in our district, which I hope you've all seen, is we have fences around all of our elementary schools. Now, you might think, well, what is a fence going to do? But the truth is, by delineating our property lines, it's been really helpful for safety and security. I'll give a couple of examples. If you know Kavanaugh, Kavanaugh is next to a park. There was no delineation of where that school started and where the park ended. Same thing for Luton, same thing for Atwood. And what we have found is that there will be community members, good, wonderful, terrific people, but they're in the park. Then they come onto school property. They don't even know it's school property. They're walking their dog. They're doing their thing. But the idea that we can start to really secure our perimeter is very, very important. Also, we do have some students that are elopers, that are runners, and so having the fences around the school is very, very helpful. And it's really, we have found to be a good sense of safety and security, especially when we have kids out for recess or out for play. It allows the kids to stay, kind of more in where they're supposed to. And it's been really, really good. We've spent a lot of money on it, but I can tell you that it's one of the best things we've done in years because it allows for our families, our children, our staff, and the community at large to know where our property is and where it isn't. Some of our schools abut very large city parks, and during recess they have a tendency to run into the woods, and now they can't, right? And it's not that the kids were doing anything bad, they had no sense of like, oh, well, that piece of grass is not ours. How do you say that to a kid? It just looks like a piece of grass, right? And so by doing this, we've really, I think, improved our safety and security. So I don't know, Cordelia, if there's...
No, I think
awesome.
you're good. Yeah.
Okay, this is where Cordelia will really take the mic here. Just as a reminder, this district, 3 years ago, upgraded to what is really considered the gold standard of safety and security when it comes to unfortunate incidents, and that is ALICE. So ALICE is, as you can see, alert, lockdown, inform, counter, and evacuate. This is kind of the gold standard of how do you deal with some sort of event, some sort of bad thing. And so we have continuously trained on this. We have something called RAVE, which I'll ask Cordelia to speak about as well. But really, we were leaders in this, and in fact, some districts have actually leaned on us as leaders in the field on training for this. So, Director Black, you want to just talk about this?
Sure. So yeah, Alice is active shooter drill training, to be quite simple about it. It is training that we push out on a regular basis. Our entire district has been trained on it. We continue to train on it several times a year. We have at least, I'm going to say about 30 trainers in our district, and so it doesn't all fall on one or two people. We can host in-person training, virtual training, but really it's a lockdown on steroids, to be honest with you, right? Where the old way of locking down, lessons learned behind that through unfortunate situations in schools is that it used to be a time when we were, told to kind of hide under tables and, go hide and put everybody in the corner and turn the lights out. Well, new research tells us that we need to move around. We need to distract the person that's attacking. We need to make sure that we're informing and providing real update information to our law enforcement agencies or to principals or whoever we can get the information to. We need to be prepared to evacuate when we need to. It says to evacuate if you can, not wait for someone or law enforcement to get there, to get to the scene. It really puts response in the hands of us, the educators, who's actually in the situation. Instead of waiting on law enforcement to respond and guide us, we have the autonomy to make critical decisions in these critical situations. So that's really what ALICE is all about. It teaches you how to think critically while in situations like this and then act, right? And so that's the hugest part about ALICE. It's let's not all sit in a circle on the floor and, kind of wait for trouble to come to us, but let's, evacuate if we have to. Let's counter if we have to. And it teaches you it gives you the tools in order to deploy those strategies.
I mean, sadly, and we shouldn't know these names, but we do. Columbine, Uvalde, Oxford. What the research has been very clear about is, if you can, run. If you have to, fight back. It is a different model than when I was a child. When I was a child, you were taught, be quiet, be in a corner, shut the lights out. Sadly, in most school shootings, there isn't a conversation with the person. It is, when you think of like Virginia Tech, it is how do you get out of the way? How do you avoid? How do you run? How do you lock down? How do you counter? And so thankfully, and I want to give a big shout out to the president of LSCA, Chuck Alberts. He's been a huge supporter of this. He's actually gone through the training himself, and he's actually had his leadership go through the training, and I've been very, very proud that I think we're one of the leaders really in the country around this. And if you want to just maybe speak about RAVE.
Oh, yeah, sure. So RAVE is another measure that we're really excited about, where if you go back to ALICE, it says alert. And basically, the alert piece is getting the communication out there, making sure that people know. And so that's what RAVE is all about. It is a safety measure of alerting law enforcement that there is trouble and we need assistance and we need it now. It's not a tool that, we would use on a for a regular everyday operational type of situation, but it is definitely something that is activated and ready to be deployed the moment you press a button. So RAVE is what we call a mobile safety response, right? So it's an app that's on your phone. Great, the superintendent has it up. It's an app that you can download on your phone. You put all the information in there, and it sits on your phone until you need it. When you need it, it has a safety mechanism where you have to slide the window open, and then it gives you options, buttons. So the biggest button in the very center is 911. So you have to actually press the button and hold it for several seconds in order for it to activate so that accidents don't happen. But you can make contact with the medical emergency personnel and law enforcement. Every one of our schools, along with RAVE, has a feature called geofencing. And so when that button is pressed, law enforcement knows exactly where you are. Exactly where you are. They know that if you're at the Halleck building, if you work there and that's where you press that button, then it knows to come to 4200 Wainwright Avenue. If you're here in the administration building, it will know to respond to this address. So it's really, really nice. It's, again, top of the line. We're, again, one of very few school districts in this area that has ALICE, as well as we work very closely with the 911 Center, who worked with us to implement the geofencing, and so they're ready to respond the moment that we hit the button.
So just to show you, and not that you can see it, so this is the app. I have to slide to unlock it. Clearly, I'm not going to press any of these buttons, but one of the buttons is active assailant. The other one is fire, medical, 911, other, or police. I would then just tap it, push it, hold it, and you can see it goes back to unlock, because if it was just a mistake, it knows to not do anything. And then because I'm the superintendent, I'm basically geofenced everywhere, and so if I press the button and I do it, the police will know immediately where I am. They can find me and they can respond. This is the type of technology that all districts should have, but we're really, really proud that we're one of the first ones to have it. And to Cordelia's point, we also have a good relationship with the 911 center so that they have all of our kind of maps or geofencing, so that if something really happens, right, yeah, right, don't press it. If something really happens, they can get to us really quickly. So, when you look at all of these things combined, again, for you as the board and for families, and many of you on the board are families of kids in the district, I hope this gives you quite a lot of solace to see the kind of safety and security measures we actually do have at our schools. Thank God, knock on Formica, we haven't had to really use any of them, but we have, we've had staff, let's say, get sick, right, having nothing to do with that, but it's a very easy way to get medical. Somebody's having a heart attack, somebody's having an alert, we're able to use this for that as well. So I really just hope that this is part one of the presentation, that's the overall sense of safety and security in our buildings and in our district. Now, sadly, we do have to address a huge issue, and I'm really just so thrilled that Trustee Hurd is at the table, as well as Director Black. Our community, like so much of the United States, has a gun violence concern, if not a problem. There are many, many guns in our district, legal, illegal, used for good, used for not so good. But one thing I think we can all agree on is that gun safety is important. And so today we are unveiling our gun safety campaign so that the board can see it and so that the community can see it. But I wanted this board to be the first people to see it publicly, because I know how really powerful this board has been in terms of what can we do to make our community safer. So I have lots of things for show and tell. What we have first is safe homes. Yeah, if you want. Yeah, thank you, Trustee Hurd. Safe homes, safe schools, safe kids. We believe that the Lansing School District needs to be a leader in this community around gun safety. And so what are the key components? The first key component, of course, is actual gun safety with gun locks. So just to show all of you, we will have free gun locks for anybody that wants them. These will be at our district offices as well as schools around the community. I want to be very clear. We are not asking anybody to show that their guns are registered. We're not trying to go into somebody's backyard. We are just saying, hey, wonderful community, if you want to have a gun lock because we believe in safe storage, here you go. So, if you want to see them, you're more than welcome to. Some of them are black. I think you can hand some out. I think I also have pink ones or orange ones. I don't know. We get them donated, so it's not for me to ask. But they're really, really helpful. And then again, so key components of this campaign is going to be the gun locks. And of course, why does a gun lock matter? Sadly, oftentimes guns that are in the hands of children are taken by our children from our parents. They are taken from glove boxes. They're taken from underneath the bed. They're taken from the nightstand. And so if we can just lock these up, we know that then they can't be in the hands of the children. So what we also have is, and let me make sure we have this, is that we're going to be doing a huge public awareness and education effort. So these posters, again, oh, thank you, sir. Safe homes, safe schools, safe kids. Start using the gun lock today. we're going to have these at our schools. If you notice, because again, we are thoughtful about our children, the posters don't necessarily have a picture of a gun. It just has a picture of the lock, but the actual handouts on how to use a gun lock, of course, has gun, because you have to see how to actually use it. So we could certainly hand these out as well. And again, I want to give a huge shout out to our comms department. These are really nice. We created this, and again, thanks to Trustee Hurd and the board. You said, Superintendent, we need to do something about gun violence. We need to do something about safe storage. And so this is the campaign that we are doing. So these posters will be distributed over the next couple of days, maybe a week. You give us a little bit of time, and then we'll get these to all of our schools that you'll see, again, safe homes, safe schools, safe kids. Then we're going to have the safe storage. So this handout is about different ways that you can lock your guns up. It also gives more information about it. We have a crisis hotline. We have things about suicide. Very, very sadly, the increase in suicide completion rates has gone up tremendously over the last 20 years because of access to weapons. The attempts are up, but not dramatically. But when you use a gun, sadly, the completion rates are so much higher. And so we want our community to be safe, and we really, really believe that this is one of the best ways to do this. We're also going to have some public service announcements, and some of our amazing board members might have been part of these public service announcements. So, Ryan, are you around? Are we able to show some? Hey.
Hello, my name is Ben Schuldener, and I'm the superintendent of the Lansing School District. One of the most important jobs of a superintendent is to make sure that our children are safe. And because of that, we are launching this public service announcement to make sure that all of our families understand that safe storage of weapons is of paramount importance. We'll be handing out gun locks, we'll be doing informational sessions, and we'll just do whatever we can as a community to make sure that our children and our families are safe. Let's make sure that our community, our schools, and our children are as safe as possible. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Lansing Mayor Andy Shore. In every community, every child is a blessing. We all share the responsibility to keep them safe. That means supporting our schools, helping families practice secure storage, and teaching students to look out for one another. Together, we can live out our values of care and community.
In our community, every child is a blessing. We all share the responsibility to keep them safe. That means that storing your guns safely and teaching students to look out for one another is important. Together, we can live out our values of care and community.
Prevention saves lives. Safe firearm storage is a simple step that protects children from accidents and self-harm. Paired with strong schools and supportive relationships, it can change lives. Gun locks are now available at every school. Together, we can protect our kids.
Big ups to our wonderful trustees Hurd and Dr. Navarez Martinez. I hope that we are going to continue this. So if any board member would like to do one, we have a script, we have the filming, but I think there's something really powerful about all of us saying the same thing and really getting that word out there. I know our families want to be safe. I know our children want to be safe, but it's up to the school district to really push this out there. So I don't know if I'm back on the, okay, great. And so we've got the posters, we have the handouts, we have the videos, but there's also something really important, and I'm going to turn the mic over to Trustee Hurd. When he and I were talking throughout I don't know, the last, 2 months. One of the things that became so apparent was hearing from, a board member and a parent who says, what, we really need to figure out what's the best way to have a real honest conversation with our families. And so he came up with this, I think, amazing phrase of know before you go. And so I'm going to turn it over to him, and I'll show you have the posters in front of you, and I'm going to kind of let Trustee Hurd speak about the importance of this, and then I'll kind of riff with him. So, Trustee Hurd?
Perfect. Thank you. Board of Education, we have been speaking about this at length, loudly, that the school district needs to put all measures in place to ensure that we are creating a safe and nurturing environment in all of our school communities. We have charged the superintendent to really have actionable items, and I know I've made a lot of noise with the superintendent about not talking in philosophies and all these things, but what actually are we going to do to help our families, help us make a more safe environment. Know before you go, promote safe homes, safe schools, and safe kids. And this is just a quick parent check before our babies leave for school every day. Safety starts at home. Know before you go helps families begin each day calm, prepared, and aware. Check those backpacks. Gauge your baby's mood before they leave the house, before you leave the house for work, and find out what are the plans for them to do after school. Who's picking that child up? Did you arrange for someone else to take them and then let them know that they should check before they go? Pack with purpose. Take a moment, and I want to say this, take a moment, be the parent, open that backpack, not just to check for firearms, check for homework, check for things that might have been missing that they couldn't find. I know when I was in school, I would say, I have no homework, I have nothing. My mom would open up my backpack and there's that algebra work that I've been putting off. And so this isn't just about firearms or painting our children as dangerous. It is us as the parents, as the community, taking back into our hands the safety of our babies before they even get to school and partnering with the district. Look and listen. Notice how your baby is feeling before they leave home. Are they tired still? Are they anxious? Are they just excited? A short talk or a hug, a dap up can make the difference in a child's day. Have a conversation before you leave and give a hug. And I will add, sometimes even when I'm sending my children to daycare, I've got to remember not to fuss at them right before they leave home. I have to remember to, even if they've done something wrong and I've got to get them together, I got to still affirm that I'm rooting for you to have the best day possible. Because how do you expect the teacher to be able to raise their mood if you've cussed them out before they've left home? You've got to partner with us so that when we receive them, they are ready to learn, they're calm, and they're ready to take on the day. Stay connected. Listen, we live in a technological age. There's nothing we can do. None of us grown-ups are ever going to be able to keep up with the new things on technology. I will tell you, I'm in that middle age. I'm rotary phone old, but I'm also AI young. And even still, my baby girl, who's almost 4 years old, already knows how to work my cell phone better than me. She used my phone on my face while I was asleep so she could unlock my phone to watch Paw Patrol, right? And can't even spell her name yet. We're not going to be able to keep up. However, if we stay close with our children, know what your child is watching, know what they're sharing, know what they're posting. You can learn a lot about how a child is feeling by the kind of videos that they repost. Follow your babies. If they block you, get a new page and follow them again. A little awareness goes a long way in keeping them safe. The one social media app that I don't see on here is one that might have escaped some of us grown people, and that is Snapchat. You have to know, Snapchat, as many of you know, the story disappears after 24 hours. Whatever they said yesterday, if they didn't click save on it, it's already gone and you can't find it. Well, that means we're going to have to check every day to make sure that they are safe online. It's crazy how unsafe we can be living in our own homes sometimes. We do all we can as parents to make sure that they're safe in our homes. We've got our locks. You know, we'll fight anybody over our kids. But what we don't know is that little piece of technology in their hand, somebody might be harming them there, and we were never the wiser. Or something is happening in the school, a situation is arising, and we never knew until it comes out later. Connect before you say goodbye. I know I've said this, but I can't say it enough. Say a kind word. Give a high five. Give a quick hug. Help your child carry calmness and confidence into the classroom. Also, know the plan. Know the plan. Some of our students ride the city bus to school and from school. Know who's supposed to pick up your child. Know when they're supposed to be home. We know that our kids have their phones connected to their hands. Send them a quick text while you're at work. Say, hey, I'm thinking about you. I want you to know I'm checking in. Where are you now? Are you still going to meet me? Grandma's supposed to come pick you up. Meet me at church later. Is there still basketball practice tonight? Asking these questions helps you stay involved. Do you know about the after-school programs that are happening at your school? If not, call the school. My baby says he's in drama club Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Let the principal tell you, we don't even have a drama club. Right? And that is a conversation that you can have. How is your baby getting to the Boys and Girls Club or to one of our other partners? Be their steady start. Be their steady start. Small routines, something I learned teaching elementary. Steady routines build confidence. They build big confidence. Do the same thing as best you can every day. Be the consistent part in their life and hold us accountable for the same. Your calm presence, you the parent, nobody can do it better than us. We're the parents. The school district is the second parents. We're the parents. Nobody can calm our babies like we can. We need to be the calm, secure presence for them and also put things in place to make sure that the supports are there. Some of us have to work. Some of us are single parents. We get it. I get it. Some of us have multiple children that go to school on other sides of town. One is in karate over here. One's at church over here. One's taking piano lessons. I've seen it. I've seen it. I know it. Partner with us, though. Know before you go. Advocacy is the order of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Let's work together to advocate for safety of all of our babies. We are the parents. Know before you go. Thank you.
Thank you. I could not even begin to say it as well as Trustee Hurd, and I think having a board member who's, also a parent, who's been really focused on this is really important for the community to hear, and I also know that he is saying the same thing that this board believes in. And so for those of you who, might be watching this tomorrow or another day, because you might not be up at 10 p.m., I want you all, this community, to understand and see what was just talked about. Know before you go is a great way to just think about your day. Check the bag, check your kid, have a conversation, because, one of the things we haven't talked about, because this is mainly about gun violence, is, we have a gummy problem, things like drugs that are in the form of candies, right? So you see something in a kid's book bag, you go, what is this? And then you can have that conversation. These are the kinds of ways that we want to empower our parents. The parents are the first and most important contact of the children. We want parents to think of us as a support and an empowerer of their ability to help support their children. So these posters, of course, are going to be everywhere. Sergio Keck and his team are going to translate this into our, top 8 languages. We're going to have these all over. These posters will be at the school. The safe firearm storage information will be here in the main office, as well as in principals' offices. And then the gun locks will be here and throughout the district. So what I hope this board has seen is there was a clarion call. There was a call to action from this board, and this is the beginning step, because now we have to take all of this information, we have to promote it, and we have to get the community to really trust us and to believe in us so that they start to do things like get a gun lock from us. We're not going to ask you questions. We're not going to call anybody. We're just going to say thank you, use it wisely. And we're going to have the posters, we're going to have the information, and of course the know before you go. So with that, I certainly want to open it up to questions for the board. I want to thank the two wonderful presenters, and certainly this is the beginning of a much larger conversation for this community. So thank you.
Thank you so much. That was an amazing presentation. Thank you, everyone. Dr. Rodriguez.
Thank you for the presentation. It's very collaborative. Two things. One, the principals need to have this version or a small version and communicate in PTSAs or parents communication. How that is going to go to every family besides what they can see on TV, how we can send a pamphlet or something, put that all together now and give it to the kids to take home.
Yeah, so thank you so much for the question. We wanted to unveil this to the board and to the public. The next step will be to work with our individual principals. We will present it at the next administrative meeting with all of the principals and the assistant principals, and then we're going to be going to each individual school to help them then push out the information, because what we know is, you know, people might know what I look like and they might know my name, but the principal of the school has a better connection to the families than certainly I do. And so what we're going to do here is now the next step is to go to the school level, and then they're going to be able to push it out. So it's a great question, and that's the multiple steps.
And what about the parking lots in the buildings? The parking, how we control, can we see what is going in the parking at any time for some TV or?
Yeah.
How we do it with the
So
parking?
it's a great question. I'm going to defer to Cordelia in a second. So one of the nice things about our fences is that a lot of them are around the parking, so that at least controls it. But we also have cameras throughout our district. So we have cameras on the inside of the schools and the outside of the schools, and most of our parking lots we can see through our cameras. But Cordelia, if you want to, you know, just tell us some specifics, maybe.
Yeah, so we have cameras in every lot, outside every single school, every single building. And I've applied for a grant, keep your fingers crossed that we get it, because I'm ready to start upgrading some of our cameras so that we can gain much higher definition in certain areas and pockets where we should be have a closer look without destroying the integrity of the video. So in other words, when you start to zoom in, things start to get a little fuzzy. And so we want to address that with, you know, implementing some or installing new cameras where we can and when we can. Hoping to get that funding, but yeah.
And what's nice is the cameras we have are actually very, very high quality. We're going to get new software. We're trying to get new software which will allow us to have even better ability to zoom in, zoom out, whatever. But I want the community to know, and certainly the board to know, that we have cameras on the outside of every one of our schools. We do have an ability to patrol the parking lots as well as the entryways. You know, a school like Gardner, which is on 20+ acres, I will be honest, we don't have, you know, the ability to go see into that back forest. But again, that's why we have fences, right? And so if somebody's approaching the school, we would be able to see it.
And we were north in the conference last week, right? I attended a presentation done by students in high school and the superintendent. And one of the complaints that they had, these students for a long time, was the restrooms. Restrooms.
Oh yeah, sure.
And how to monitoring what is going on. And they did the presentation and they changed some things. They around the doors of the restroom, they have a lot of things going on, knowing that they cannot put cameras inside.
Right. Yeah, so, I mean, you've witnessed some videos of children going into bathrooms and outside. So, you know, we have cameras that can basically see the door. but of course we can't put cameras inside the bathrooms. So we have an ability to know kind of who's going in and who's going out, but certainly putting anything in the bathrooms, that would be. Now, we will say that there are some, we haven't done it yet, and these are some conversations, but because of our ID system, you actually do have the ability to set up like a tap-in system. So if I'm going to the bathroom, I tap in, so at least you have a record. We haven't done that yet because we want the schools to really buy into that, but the good news is that the cameras we have in our hallways, I think, and I mean, I'm not going to say 100%, but I think like 98% of all the bathrooms we can see going in or going out, and that's very safe.
And finally, we can talk about whatever we want, but I think we should have a kind of evaluation, asking the teachers how they feel safe or not safe.
Sure.
The students, the parents, that we have the whole community involved in evaluation, that we can really, in the second semester, come here and say, hey, we need to do that or that. But
Absolutely.
we don't need to do all of them, but have it in a sample that will be good enough.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. President.
No, thank you, Dr. Rodriguez. Dr. Navarez-Martinez.
Yeah, so my kids go to Post Oak, and my oldest didn't get his ID for a few days because they're new to the school. And I got an email this morning saying, oh, he hasn't like tapped in. And it wasn't because he wasn't doing it on purpose, but because like he didn't have his ID yet. But I was like, oh, I'm gonna get notifications if he like ever doesn't. So I was really excited about that. And just the thing with the bathrooms and safety, there is this new technology. It's probably too expensive for us to have in Lansing, but in the Lansing School District, but maybe one day, where it's all glass and you can see inside until they're in use, and then they black out. And so that's a safety measure of where, like in some public restrooms, they're using this new kind of.
We're happily looking into it. You know, certainly we want to make sure that people feel comfortable and protected if the glass doesn't work or does work or things like that. But I will say, with all of the things that we've mentioned, I actually forgot to mention something else we have. And so, Cordelia, if you want to talk a little bit about our vape detectors in our bathrooms.
Sure, and what's nice about the vape detectors in our bathrooms is that they're connected to our cameras. And so while we may not be able to put cameras obviously into the bathrooms, when someone is in our restrooms using vapes, the detector detects that, right? They look just like a little fire alarm that maybe you might have at home, but they're of course tied into our system and camera system. So once it detects the vape, the camera immediately outside of that bathroom or in the closest camera to the restroom activates. So now we know who's coming and going or who was in there while the vape detector went off. As well as it is also tied, because it's tied into our camera, we can see it on our software. We can see who that is, the date, the time, and how often it went off. We're not sitting there monitoring it all day because, of course, we don't have the manpower to do that, but we're able to also absolutely go back and gather that information if need be. So those detectors are really nice. They're in all of our high schools and our K-8s. And we're looking to put them, elsewhere. Hopefully, if we can get some additional safety funds.
And I will say thanks to your wonderful vote today. It's quite possible we will use that money for that. So,
I love that. Trustee Nowinski.
Yes, thank you. I had one question about the CAS system. You mentioned the check-in. Is it also checking in every single class when they move within a high school, and does it check out at the end of the day?
Yeah, so it would have the capacity, but we don't do that. So, period attendance is taken by the teacher. So, you think of a typical high school kid, you've got 6 periods or 5 periods. They tap in to come into the building. That's what we have. Now, I will say what's been really helpful is sometimes, by accident, nobody does it on purpose, a teacher might mark a kid absent or that they forgot to mark something in. We can then double check the the CAS system to say, oh, actually, the kid did come in, and we can then, or the opposite, which is the kid didn't check in, but they came to class, and sometimes it's an errant mark on, oh, they were present. But it's not built yet for checking in at every period. We believe our teachers can just kind of go in, they take attendance, and they go out. Yeah, but it does have the capacity. What we can use it for is, let's say we do it for lunch. We could do it for a special event. And then what's also cool is we have a relationship with Dean where actually you can tap into the bus, and that way we can kind of track the kids. Now, is that used to fidelity on the bus? I can't say for certain, but we do have that capacity. And so as our community our children start to get used to it more and more, we're going to start to think of other ways of using it. But right now, no, it's really only used for coming into the building. And we can also use it if a kid's leaving early, they can tap out. Same thing with the buses, come in, come out. But as we get used to the system, we're thinking of things like tapping into the bathroom, tapping into second period, tapping into whatever. So.
I just actually saw some social media concerns about the bus route, and so that might be something that if we can get that to fidelity would address some of those concerns.
Yeah, and sorry, not to go on a tangent, but what we do certainly have for the buses is the Where's My Bus app. Right. And so I hope that families use that, so when they do have a concern, please let us know about that.
Yeah, no, I've used it, it's great. I think this was concerned about where a student actually was or something on the bus, and I think if they had the scan card, that could easily answer those questions. And then my last question was, in a presentation I heard about some districts having a radio kind of hardwired that could go direct to dispatch. I think it was for in the event that these kind of network systems failed or something went down in a major emergency. Do we have sort of what's the backup plan if internet's not working or these apps can't run for some reason?
Sure.
Yes, all of our DPS emergency communication radios have a feature, a little red button right on the top so that we can gain access to 911 immediately in the case of an emergency or the phones are down where we don't have access to a phone. So absolutely, and it has happened from time to time by accident, so we know they work.
Yeah, I mean, in the event of like a tornado or things like that, or, I mean, not to bring up something that's still, of course, front of mind is, I was teaching on 9/11, and so, everything was knocked out. We're really lucky that the radios that we have, they have special frequencies, and even if the cell towers are off or things like that, we can get to 911 and to each other, which is helpful.
Thank you.
All righty. Are there any more questions for our presenters this evening? Oh, yes, Trustee Hurd.
Lord, I just wanted to say before you bid us farewell that I asked the superintendent, what in your perfect world, if you had money not be an object or anything, what would you ask this board to empower you to do? And he said, maybe because he's a frugal person, nothing right now. These steps are what we need to do to get us on our way. I would encourage you colleagues to continue to have this conversation with the superintendent's team and for all of us, the 9 of us, to throw our weight around to make sure that he is given every resource to see this initiative come to pass. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, Dr.
We
Rodriguez.
we don't need to pass a motion to ask for the maybe second semester to have a kind of questionnaire for the teachers and students and all that.
We can certainly work on that, absolutely.
Okay, we don't need to do anything.
No.
Second, I think that because it's different times we are living, unfortunately, over there in Sun School, the restrooms are closed as lack during classroom time, instructional time. If somebody wants to go to the restroom, the teacher has a card that they can open. And then when the student come back, return, and the restroom, it's very difficult to ask because it's open, it doesn't have even a door. But we had to keeping our eye on how the restrooms are used in every building.
Sure. Yeah, no, it's very important, absolutely.
Thank you so much for the presentation.
Thank you.
All right, good work. Good work. All righty, no more questions for our presenters. I should probably wait till Trustee Hurd gets back to their seat and Superintendent. All righty. Moving on to our next presentation under, 8B, it would be Mr. Keck. Good job, you all. Yay. Righty. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good morning. No.
Buenas noches, buenos días. Yes. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to be in front of us tonight. I know it's been a long night, and you have taken care of many important items. And but this one is a little bit more celebration of something that has happened within some of our employees that have done in what they've done in the school district for the state of Michigan. But before I start, I'd like Claudia to introduce herself and to please say hello to the board.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I don't know if this is on.
Yep.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm glad you're still awake for us. I know it's getting a little bit late, but we promise it's going to be good, and we're going to make it efficient for sure.
Yes. So the title of this presentation is From a Conversation in Lansing to a Movement Across Michigan. And this is the story of three Lansing School District Latino employees whose effort and vision guided a movement through the state of Michigan. And on October 17th, less than 2 weeks ago, we were officially recognized by the National Association of Latino Administrators and Superintendents at the conference in Chicago. The third person that was going to be with us is Ariel Rodriguez Peña, too. We all know Ariel is from Cuba, and the last couple of days, the Hurricane Melissa went through the east side of the island where his city is, and where his father's house is, and as of this morning, the water was up to the roof of the house where the father lives. So he's been up for 2 days, so we sent him home, okay? But he wanted to be here. This recognition highlights our district's commitment to leadership in diversity, equity, and advocacy. So now my ALAS, or Michigan ALAS, is officially a state affiliate for ALAS. This all started, actually, this did not start with three Latino employees. This started with a superintendent of the Lansing School District, and who mentioned it, and I believe you also got an email from Guillermo, Vice President Lopez, that we were invited to go to Washington, D.C. to testify in the Senate, and there were 100 superintendents that were Latinos, and it was for the advocacy of students and to ask for more money. When that happened, we asked the question to ourselves, what can we do in Michigan to be part of this? How do we create a network of administrators that can work together and help our students? So that was the little seed that started this whole thing. Go ahead, Claudia.
All right. So what we did, we actually were able to form a board and create a mission. We hosted 3 listening tours throughout the state. So we hosted events in Grand Rapids, in Detroit, and here in Lansing to make sure to capture what everyone was feeling, what everyone was thinking in all of these different regions, and what change they wanted to see in our state. And of course, towards the end of that, we were able to obtain nonprofit status, and that's a really huge deal. It took a little bit of work, but it allowed us to do all the wonderful things we were able to do this year. And I'll give you a couple of moments to look at the mission statement. So this is the mission statement we created based on the feedback we collected at those listening tours. When we were developing this mission statement, we wanted to make sure it reflected not just our commitment to current administrators and superintendents, but also to growing the next generation of Latino leaders and educators. So this includes strengthening the pipeline from college students to educators and administrators. We are also committed to supporting the growth and success of K-12 students along the way. This mission really focuses on the collaboration and networking opportunities that really uplift Latino leaders and students at every level.
So from that mission, we went one step further, and our goals are to promote and provide professional development opportunities, to advocate for equitable representation of Latino leaders in our schools, and to foster an educational environment that can embrace all of us.
This is the current My Alice board, and as you can see, it is heavily impacted by the Lansing School District. We do, however, have a couple of really special people in the field that provide some wonderful perspective. So we have Miss Kelly Alvarez, who is the head of the Multilanguage Learner Division in the Michigan Department of Education. And we also have Jonathan Tobar, who's the Deputy Superintendent of Livingston ISD. So with all of these wonderful people together, we've really been able to build something special.
So what we learned some data that it's not as good as we thought we were going to find, but we learned that there are very, very few administrators in the state of Michigan that have the word superintendent in their titles. We learned that there's only one superintendent that is Latino in the state of Michigan, and that was this year, and she is at South Haven Public Schools, Ana Aleman. We learned that in the cohort of 2023-24, only 128 students graduated in the educational field with a bachelor's, 80 masters, and 8 doctoral degrees. We also learned that if you put all the teachers, administrators, and support staff in the state of Michigan, only 2.5 are Latinos. And the total population of Latino kids in the state of Michigan is 9.46 of the population, which is 135,000. So those are the numbers that we learned. But we also learned that the people that are in the field did not network, did not know each other. We went to Grand Rapids, beautiful place. We took them, the Spanish, with the Spanish restaurant with tapas, and then we invited them to come. There were people that were working a couple of miles away from each other, and they did not know each other. We went to Detroit. The same thing happened. And our people did not know they did not know how to network with each other. And we know that in this profession or in any other profession, if you don't network, it's going to be very difficult to have more open opportunities in this world. So this is some of the stuff that we have learned.
Yeah, and this data, by the way, is from myschooldata.org. And where we are now, we have solidified our strategic plan, and this is for the next 3 years. So we really have a clear vision of where we're going and where we want to grow. National Alice, which is the national organization, provided our initial startup funds of $2,000, and that's what allowed us to obtain nonprofit status, get our bylaws, and of course, develop the website. We also offered some local and state level professional development opportunities, which some of our administrators here in the Lansing School District got to take advantage of, which was really awesome. And finally, we've started sharing a monthly newsletter that includes updates and networking opportunities. And where we are now, October 17th, as Mr. Keck mentioned at the beginning of our presentation, was when we were recognized as an official state affiliate of ALICE. And this was just a couple of weeks ago. This work is really reflective of all of us who've dedicated a large part of our careers in Lansing School District as members of the Bilingual Education Department and many other special population programs. We hope that MyAlice continues to grow, but also to support Latino educators in the state. We know that here in Lansing School District, we are a model for bilingual education and inclusion, and we really think that by continuing to connect with others, network and share, we can all grow together and learn from different areas where our strengths and weaknesses.
So where we're going to develop more networking, more professional development, recruit more members, increase and improve the representation in the schools across the state of Michigan. And we want to have our first state conference in the next year. So these are all the things that we want to do to promote our field. And I don't know if you can see that picture in there, but that's who we want to find someday in the future, another Secretary of Education of the United States that is part of this population. Ryan, if you could just play a quick video that we have from the Executive Director of ALAS.
If I hit the green button one more time, will it play?
Try it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hi, my name is Ulysses Navarrete, and I'm the Executive Director for ALAS, the Association of Latino Administrators and Superintendents. In Michigan, Latino students deserve to see themselves reflected in the leaders who guide their education, in the classroom, in schools, and in districts across the state. That is why establishing an ALAS Michigan affiliate has been so important. I'd like to extend my personal and sincere gratitude and our national support to Sergio Keck, Ariel Rodriguez Peña, and Claudia Cabrera Rodriguez for their tireless work in creating a space where Latino and Latino-serving educators can come together to lift one another up, share educational strategies, and inspire the next generation. ALAS is proud to welcome our Michigan affiliate, united in our mission of advocating for our students, focusing on policy changes that will impact education, and ensuring that every single student can see themselves reflected in their leadership. Welcome, mi ALAS. We're so proud of you.
Oh, very nice.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
So we want to finalize the presentation by saying this can happen, and this happened from the Lansing School District, and it was 3 employees that started this with the support of the superintendent and, of course, the Board of Education. So we want to thank you, all of you, for the support. We're going to continue to grow this, and sometimes, what do they say, the tree that you plant, you're not going to see the shade, but I hope that the shade continues to grow in this association. So thank you so much for the presentation.
Thank you so much.
And this is the beautiful thing that we got, okay? All right.
Yes.
Put it up somewhere.
Yes, of course.
They told us that if the board wants to, that we, they also asked us if it would be possible to get a picture with the board and all of us to send to the, so I know you guys were all tired.
Oh, yeah.
Could we, little stretch?
It's only Friday morning, but sure.
It is Friday morning?
Not yet.
Not yet.
row. Okay, wonderful.
We got 30 minutes.
Yeah, we got 30 minutes, all righty. So up next, we have our reports from our officers. Secretary, please.
Yes, so November 6th at 7 p.m. Everett Auditorium, Dayton Contemporary Dance Company is going to perform at Everett High School. It's free for Lansing School District students and only $5 for others. We're supporting families facing SNAP benefit changes, and so there are several food pantry options here in Lansing. Please ask your school for a list of these pantries. They can provide it for you. October 31st, which is in 45 minutes, we have a half day for our elementary school students. November 4th is election day and there is no school. Our next board meetings will be November 20th. We have a special meeting at 4 p.m. and regular board meeting at 6 p.m. December 4th, we have a regular board meeting, and December 11th, special meeting at 4 p.m. and informational study session at 6 p.m.
All righty, thank you so much, Madam Secretary. Moving on to our committee reports, the Employee and Alumni Recognition Ad Hoc Committee. Trustee Hurd.
Thank you, Madam President. Board of Education, the Alumni and Employee Recognition Committee has met twice since I've reported last. Tuesday, October 14th at 5:30 at Sexton High School, and also on Tuesday, October 28th at 5:30 at Eastern High School. The calendar for our upcoming meetings is November 11th, December 2nd, with a tentative meeting on December 9th. Meetings will be held at 5:30. The location will rotate between the high schools each time and will be posted. On Tuesday, October 28th, we made a motion that we change the name of the committee to Board Recognition Committee, finding that the scope of our work did not include students, which is something that we do now. And so we'll be putting a motion later after I'm done with this that we are able to change our name to just the Board Recognition Committee, so that anybody that this board wants to recognize can be recognized by this committee. An update of feedback was received by committee members regarding the mission and the vision. There was a motion to accept the committee guidelines as presented, and those guidelines were approved. The Communications Department is going to work on a draft nomination form and a press release to be presented to the committee. The committee will review it and provide their approval. A motion was approved to accept nominations until no later than January 30th, 2026. During the month of February, the committee will go over the received nominations, and then the nominations will be presented in March. The handbook for the committee we did get drafted and has, after the committee members were able to give their notes, that is ready to be presented to the Board of Education to adopt our handbook, and we'll hopefully be able to get on the next meeting for this board to adopt. Madam President, is this the right time for me to make a motion about the name change, or should I do it later?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, that's fine.
I'd like to make a motion that the Board of Education allow a name change from the Alumni and Employee Recognition Committee to Board of Education Recognition Committee.
Wonderful. Moved by Trustee Hurd, second by Dr. Rodriguez. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
8-0. Yes.
Thank you very much for the report, but also the board needs to know the committee members are administrators, parents, teachers, and community. Then it's about 20 different?
It's about 21.
21 members in the committee.
That's
Then we have meetings that they participate or in presence or by Zoom.
Yes.
Then it's not just three of us, so it's many people in the committee.
I like that. It sounds like you all are also developing structures to sustain this committee. So I'm wondering, is it still an ad hoc committee or is it a committee? Sounds like it's a committee now. All righty. Thank you for your update. I look forward to hearing more information. I'm sure we look forward to hearing more information. You have a question,
Yeah.
VP?
And I think Mr. Wojnicki got a look in his face. But I think before it becomes a committee, we have to amend the bylaws to add the committee.
Okay.
And any other committee.
Okay.
So that can be done.
Oh.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. Dr. Navarez Martinez said they're working on that policy still to update what that policy looks like as far as our
So it's
committee.
still a task force until.
Yeah, an ad, yeah, until that changes,
Until
yeah.
it changes,
Yeah, thank you for lifting that. All righty, sounds like we're on a roll. Next, the Equity Committee, Dr. Kavanaugh and Trustee Strode had to leave for the evening, but are you?
Yeah, the committee does not have any updates at this time.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to our Facilities Committee, Mr. Vice President Lopez.
No report.
All righty, moving on
No
to.
report.
No
I didn't
report?
get mine.
Okay. Moving on to our Finance Committee, Dr. Kavanaugh.
The Finance Committee met this Monday, October 27th. I do want to note that Kim Adams is out sick, unfortunately, and has been all week. And so because she was not able to attend Monday's meeting, we actually ended up tabling a lot of the agenda because she is typically the person who reports out. So I have a bit less information to share than I usually might. There are just a few things I want to flag. First, I just want to raise that due to the government shutdown, what that means is in terms of some of our grants that are federally funded, we're a little bit in a state of limbo. That doesn't mean we don't have the money, but our kind of points of contact there in the government are not working right now due to the shutdown. And so that lack of communication has been a bit of a challenge. Again, that does not mean that we are missing any money or that we're hurting for those grant dollars. It just can be a little bit difficult, as anyone who has worked with grants before knows, to not have that open line of communication. So I want to be transparent about that. The second thing that I want to raise is that we had a conversation about, related to the government shutdown, about the potential that many families in our district may be losing SNAP benefits as of November 1st, and this is a big concern. And I know the superintendent had done some kind of behind-the-scenes work to address the concerns that we raised in Monday's meeting, so I'm happy to pass it to you for a sec.
Sure. Thank you so much, Trustee Kavanaugh. Look, it is a difficult situation when the expectations of our families change. The needs do not change, though. And so we know that if SNAP benefits do end on November 1st, as there is a threat to have happen, we as a school district will want to do everything we possibly can to help support our families. So we are looking into a series of different ways of having grab and goes, food distribution, ways that our children are able to get snacks, get weekend food. There are some federal rules that we have to follow, even if the federal government is shut down. We still do have to follow them, but we are actively pursuing all sorts of ways to do it. I will say that about 3 minutes ago, I just got a push notice that Michigan is pledging $4.5 million to food banks amid SNAP interruptions. We, of course, work very, very closely with the state government, and so we're going to be working as much as we can with the food banks that might be getting this money. Again, we're talking about 3 minutes ago. I just got this push notification, but we will do everything we can to support our families. But please, the most important thing I want to say is anybody listening to it now or on record, if you have food insecurity, if you are worried about your next meal, please tell your principal, please tell your school. There are there are nonprofits and organizations that we are close with, as well as our own food, that we will be able to provide as much as possible. So we do know this is happening. We are wrapping around as many services as we can, and certainly please, please, please reach out to us if you do have a concern. But hopefully in the next couple of days, if it does in fact happen, we will be, kind of unveiling some programs that we'll have throughout our schools. So thank you.
Alrighty.
Wait, I'm not done. No, okay. No worries. The detailed treasurer's report for the period of September 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2025 is attached to this evening's agenda, and the following are the highlights of the report. The beginning cash and investment balance was $77,937,001. Receipts totaled $31,835,780, while disbursements equaled $24,548,301. Net interfund transfers totaled $13,833,088 in interest from fund investments to the student and bond funds, as well as journal entries to remove the due to, due froms in all funds. The monthly transfer to the general fund for bond expenses was $0. The ending general fund cash and investment balance on September 30th, 2025 was there's a bit of a typo here, so I might get this wrong. It looks like we're missing a digit, but it's $71,390,392. The general fund's cash and investment balance is $10,928,325 more as compared to the same time last year. We love to see it. We also received nearly $50,000 worth of donations for September 2025, which is super exciting. The majority of that was a very generous donation of $40,000 from the Ebersol Foundation to the Ebersol Center. We board members had our summer retreat at the Ebersol Center, so we know as well as the many students who have traveled there what a special place that is. And so we're incredibly grateful to the Ebersol Foundation for their continued support, particularly this very large donation. We also saw a large donation of over $5,000 from Playmakers Fitness Foundation, and that was a donation specifically to our enrichment and engagement. We'd like to thank all of our donors. We always appreciate donations. They are incredibly helpful, especially for some of our kind of fun and extra projects that we talk about in these board meetings. So, this could be you. I could be shouting you out next time. But thank you very much to all of our donors. And Madam President, this concludes the treasurer's report.
Thank you so much for your report, Dr. Kavanaugh. At this time, can I have a motion on the floor to approve the expenditures as presented? Yes.
I move that the Board of Education approve the expenditures as presented for September 2025.
Second.
It's been moved by Dr. Nevares Martinez and second by Dr. Rodriguez. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Yes. Motion passes 8-0. All righty. Moving on to our fifth report, the personnel report from Vice President Lopez and Trustee Nowinski.
Trustee Nowinski.
Okay.
Yes, the Personnel Committee met on October 15th. Trustees Nowinski and Lopez were present. Reports on staffing changes were reviewed with the district administration. Those reports have been shared with the board in the packet. Updates were shared on hiring initiatives and current staffing and vacancies across the district. A list of the recent new hires is proposed for adoption by the board. So you have reports on the terminations and resignations and new hires, and then there's the one-page report that we'll be acting on of all the new hires since the last time we've approved those. The committee did continue discussion about employment termination and resignation policies. We're still awaiting legal advice on several of the topics, but we did have a recommendation for a policy change that was actually just sent to the policy committee to resolve a current contradiction in one of our policies regarding employment of relatives of board members, specifically for support staff. So that should be coming through the policy committee at some point. And the next personnel committee meeting is scheduled for November 19th at 8 a.m.
All righty. Thank you so much for your report, Trustee Nowinski. At this time, can I have a motion on the floor to approve the new hires from September 2nd through September 22nd?
So moved.
All righty. Second?
Second.
Okay, it was moved by Dr. Kavanaugh and second by Vice President Lopez. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 8-0. All righty. So now moving on to our sixth report, and that would be from the Policy Committee. Dr. Navarez Martinez.
Yes, so the Policy Committee met on October 7th at 12 p.m. in room 305 here in the Administration Building. I was present along with Dr. Nino Rodriguez, Mr. Dan Nowicki, and Mr. Levante Hurd. Additional attendees were Mr. Superintendent Ben Schuldener, Alexander Fulce, Pat Krager, Lucas J. Savoy, Christina Patselt, Claudia Cabrera Rodriguez, and Sergio Keck. We discussed policy 6680 about recognition, and we'll present that to the board for approval today. We also had presentations to the policy committee by Neola and Troon. The committee members deliberated and decided to continue using Neola policies. The following topics will be discussed at our next policy committee meeting. We're reviewing the student handbook. We're also reviewing policy 5610, emergency removal, suspension, and expulsion of students. We're going to continue to review and revise the revision of policy 9150, school visitors, and bylaw 0122.1 on school visits as well. And we're going to also continue, get an update on policy, creating a policy on committees. Our meeting was adjourned at 2:02 p.m. and then our next policy meeting will be on November 4th at 12 p.m. here in the Administration Building. We have a draft policy 6680 that we want to submit for approval. Our recognition committee that we just heard a great update from is requested that we increase the amount of money that we can spend on recognition for individuals. I believe the previous amount was $100, and we're proposing a change to the policy to increase that to $180 because $100 was a very limited amount of money, especially for like trying to get, you know, plaques or anything like that for those folks that we are recognizing. So, with that, should I make this motion or? Yep.
She can make the motion. Yep, you can make the motion. Mm-hmm.
So I move that the Board of Education suspend the requirement in bylaw 0131.1 for previous notice of a policy amendment and allow for immediate amendment of policy 6680.
Second.
It was moved by Dr. Navarez Martinez and second by Dr. Kavanaugh. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 8-0. Moving on, we have another motion on the floor.
Yes, so I move that the Board of Education amend policy 6680 as proposed, effective immediately.
Second.
All righty, it was moved by Dr. Navarez Martinez, second by Dr. Kavanaugh. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 8-0. Thank you so much. All righty, thank you. All righty. Oh, we have another motion on the floor, that the Board of Education receive the policies for second reading and approve them as, nope, all right. Oh, yes. Yes, thank you so much. All righty. Moving on to our Student Achievement Committee, Mr. Lopez and Trustee Williams and Vice President Lopez.
Madam President,
Yes.
we have set our meetings for the first Monday of the month, and our first meeting will be December 1st, I think. First Monday of the month?
Yeah,
December 1st. Yeah, 3 p.m.
All right.
Dr. Rodriguez, Trustee Williams, and myself, and we may invite others.
Okay.
It just depends on how it looks on that day.
All righty. All right, thank you for your update. All righty. Oh, now we're on to our superintendent report.
Good evening. I will not belabor the point. I love you all very much. The only thing I really want to share is my promise to the community. For gas cards, we're at 2,668 with 2,440 distributed. So please, if you need a gas card, talk to your schools. A lot of times the cards are there. Please be in touch with your principals so that you can get it. With CATA, we're at 553 and 521, so there's about 30 kids who still need it. Please make sure to ask your schools. You know, we do have them at the ready. And then the last one is Dean with the routing. We have 3,892 with 4,122 requests, which means that there's 230 non-routed. That's certainly much better than we've been in a while, but that still is unacceptable. And we do know that there are transportation concerns. We are working very diligently with our transportation partners, CATA, Dean, and of course the gas cards. But I just want to say to our families, if you are having bus concerns, please, please, please reach out to your principal. And if they need help, to please reach out to central office so that we can try to address your concerns. Other than that, I'm just really proud of this board and this community. I think, though it's an incredibly long meeting, we did the people's work, and I think that that's what's really important tonight. So with that, I turn the mic back to the president so that maybe we're out of here before midnight. Thank you.
Yes, of course, thank you. And I want to I heard Trustee Hurd knock, but we did the people's work. Thank you. All righty, moving on to new business. It looks like we have Mr. Keck again. Maybe? Star Training
Yes.
Service Agreement. Thank you.
Real quick.
Yes.
The STAR service agreement is a STAR Autism Support Program. This is the second year that our classrooms are going to be using. The classrooms that are using this program are the Autism Spectrum Disorder classrooms that are self-contained, and also our early childhood special ed classrooms. This includes curriculum, online components, and training and consultation to our teachers to make sure that it's implemented with fidelity. We'd like to request the approval from the board to approve this agreement.
All righty.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Can I have a motion to
moved.
approve the agreement as presented?
So moved.
All righty, it's been moved by Vice
Second.
President Lopez and second by Dr. Kavanaugh. Is there any discussion or question for Mr. Keck? Yes, Trustee Nowinski.
Yes, I just had one question. It's had the start date as March 6, 25. I don't know if you could just speak to that. It seems like it's going back. Is it capturing anything previous, or just that's the legal language to put in?
It's also capturing. Can you hear me? Yes. Yes. It's capturing some of the previous.
Okay.
Thank you.
All righty. All right. Well, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 8-0. All righty, we're back in business. Okay, next on our agenda is a FOIA appeal, it looks like. And you have the information in your board packet. May I have a motion?
So the Lansing School District received a Freedom of Information Act request by email dated September 21st, 2025 with 4 separate subparts. The Lansing School District denied the FOIA request because no records existed for 3 of the subparts, and the 4th subpart asked for records that are confidential under FERPA and therefore exempt from disclosure under FOIA. A FOIA appeal was received by email on October 10th, 2025. After reviewing the appeal, the Lansing School District considers to deny the appeal because the district upholds the FOIA coordinator's basis for denial. Can I have a motion to that part's you. Oh, should I do it? Okay. Can I have a motion to deny the appeal for the reasons stated more fully in the proposed response letter?
So moved. Oh.
All right, let's fight over it. So Dr. Kavanaugh moved it, and Dr. Rodriguez second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 8-0. So, Madam Secretary, would you like to proceed with the board calendar as well? Thank you.
So we are
Got it? Perfect.
I move, that the board calendar previously adopted on January 9th, 2025 be amended by striking November 6th, inserting December 11, and striking December 18.
It's been moved by Dr. Did you move it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's been moved by Dr. Navarez Martinez, second by Dr. Rodriguez. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 8-0. All righty. Any public comment on non-agenda items? Oh, come on up. No, I'm just playing. I'm delirious, y'all. All righty. Comments from our board members at this time. Dr. Rodriguez.
Thank you, Madam President. I have a lot of good, about half an hour presentation about the conferences in Traverse City, but thank you for letting us, me going there, was excellent. I will have 2 recommendations, and I put in writing, and I will send to all the board at the superintendent.
Yes.
Just 2 recommendations.
Thank you.
And I'm not going to say it today because it's late. Thank you very much for sending us.
Thank you so much, and I look forward to all of us giving our feedback and sending our reports to our colleagues to read. And I had a wonderful time. It was great being with all my colleagues. I wish I could have spent more time with you all, but it was so great to be in the space with you all at the time. So with that being said, yep. Oh, Trustee Hurd, yes.
I had 2 things that I'd like for the board to consider and for the superintendent maybe to meet with me about. One of those is K-12 online, having their graduation at the Breslin Center. I'd like to talk about that among us. It was packed out the door, and some people had to get tickets to come and see some of the most vulnerable babies have that distinction, and I'd like to speak with us about it. Also, I'd like to speak with the superintendent and the board about a possible baccalaureate ceremony for African-American graduates. Thank you. And also, if you've been considering sending your baby to Lansing schools to become a shining star, it's time you come home. Thank you.
That's right. Come on home. Trustee Nowinski.
I just wanted to highlight that the district was recognized with the Michigan's Green Ribbon Award, and there was a press conference about that. So I'd encourage people to look at that information and have another great reason to be proud of what the district is doing for the health of our students and our environment.
All righty. Thank you so much for that. And we have one more closed session that we have to go into. It shouldn't take long at all. So at this time, can I have a motion, please?
Madam President,
Yes.
I move that the Board of Education go into closed session under Open Meetings Act, Section 8(1)H, to consider material exempt from disclosure by state or federal statute, specifically an attorney-client privileged letter.
All righty. Thank you so much. We are entering into closed session at 11. Oh, okay. It's been moved by Vice President Lopez, supported by Dr. Rodriguez. Can I have a roll call vote?
Dr. Kavanaugh,
Yes.
Mr. Hurd,
No, I'm just kidding. Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yeah.
Mrs. Moore,
Yes.
Dr. Navarez Martinez,
Yes.
Mr. Nabisky,
Yes.
Dr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Ms. Williams. Okay, so 8.
Motion passes 8-0. Thank you. We are now entering into closed session at 11:43. We are now entered into open session at 12:04. All righty. May I have a motion?
Madam President,
Yes.
I move the Board of Education of the Lansing School District release the contract and adding 1 more year to the superintendent tenure.
All right. Can I have a second?
Second.
It was moved by Dr. Rodriguez, second by Dr. Kavanaugh. May I have a roll call vote?
Dr. Kavanagh,
Yes.
Mr. Hurd, Mr. Lopez, Mrs. Moore,
Yes.
Dr. Nevares Martinez,
Yes.
Mr. Novisky,
Yes.
Dr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Motion passes 7-1. With no more business before the board, we're done. Sorry, I'm delirious. Oh, yeah, meeting's adjourned. That